Hello and welcome back to Simple Life with Rob Pusateri. What I would like to talk about today a little bit is about ignorance and how it's not to your advantage to remain ignorant on things. It is, they say ignorance is bliss. No, it's not. It's not. And I'd like to share with you why this is on my heart today. For those of you who have been praying for me and who are following this path that I'm taking right now, I thank you. I thank you for your prayers. I thank you for your encouragement. And having to go through what I'm going through, I just want to share that with you so that maybe you will be a little less ignorant. And maybe you'll stop doing the things and living the way that I lived for most of my life. I am now scheduled to have a bypass surgery. I still have a 100% clogged, calcified artery, the one that they call the Widowmaker. And I am now getting set up for a robotic surgery. They're going to go in through my ribs, detach an artery or a big vein or something. Doc knows what he's doing. And they're going to reattach that to my heart because my heart is not working at full capacity. 1/3 of my heart isn't receiving the blood that it should be receiving. And it's been that way for years, at least a few years anyway. So, Doc says he's going to add 20 years to my life and that it's going to be like turning the faucet on all the way. So I'm going to get the fullness of my heart, the full works of it. Well, let's talk about the reason why we got there and how we got there. For one, my arteries became atherosclerotic, which means they became damaged on the interior wall of the arteries, the main coronary arteries around my heart. They somehow received a tear, and that is how we end up with coronary artery disease, heart disease, whatever you want to call it. What happens is that inner lining tears, and excess or not, I don't even say excess, but just calcium that's running through your blood, that calcium ends up getting into those cracks. And also the small damaged LDL particles, not the healthy LDL, which they call bad. It's not bad, but it's actually essential. But the small damaged LDL particles that come from inflammation, which I want to talk to you about, that's what gets into the arterial, penetrates that inner arterial wall. Can't remember the name of it right now. Endo something. Endothelium, I think it's called. But at any rate, and when those things get inside of those arterial walls, they start collecting and building up, and it closes in your arterial wall. It closes in your artery until the point where it is clogged. And those parts that get in there solidify, calcify, and it literally turns into bone in your artery. So it's very similar to bone. So that's not something you can just pop out. And so they're proposing to do a singular bypass. That's the only thing that's clogged anymore. I have a stent on the other side because I had two 100% clogged arteries, and I lived. I'm still here. My grandchildren appreciate that. So how did we get there? Was it from cholesterol? No, it's not from cholesterol. We need to change that mindset. It is from inflammation in your body, inflammation in your blood. And that inflammation comes from something you call insulin resistance, and it's the release of too much insulin in your body. And I'm not going to get real technical with it. I'm just going to tell you how it gets there. From what I understand and the research that I've done, through eating things that contain high amounts of sugar or high on the glycemic index, I mean, you might think you're doing just fine eating a piece of bread. But if you eat like I did, several sandwiches a day, and each one of those pieces of bread have so much, such a high number of simple carbohydrates, not complex carbohydrates, but simple carbohydrates, those simple carbohydrates, bam, they turn into sugar like that. And that raises your blood glucose level, raises the glucose level in your body and in your blood, and it causes insulin spikes. And that all that works together and causes an insulin resistance. It causes inflammation. And what happens when those things become inflamed, when your blood becomes inflamed, I hope I'm saying this right, the LDL, the healthy LDL particles that are in your blood, because you have LDL cholesterol in every cell of your body, every single cell of your body. So when those LDL cholesterol, when it becomes damaged, it shrinks. You have a small LDL, oxidized LDL particle, and that is what gets into your artery walls. And then they close in. And it takes years to do that. But once it happens, you're in trouble. And one of the things that, I had a heart attack in December 10th. So it's been, we're coming up on close to a year. And so these are the things that you have to think about. I had that heart attack because I had two 100% clogged arteries. I went into the hospital. They were able to put a stent in one of them, and I'm alive. The other artery is still 100% clogged, and it grew its own little bypasses and attached to the bottom of my heart, but it's not enough blood flow. When I get in a stressful situation and my body releases cortisol and adrenaline, those vessels constrict. And when they constrict, I'm not getting any blood to about a third of my heart. And that can cause another heart attack. So I have to be careful with that. Do I exercise? Heck yeah, I exercise. My heart has become a lot stronger. I'm able to walk in areas at a fast-paced walk, and my heart rate is under 100 with a fast-paced walk. I'll go for 3 miles, and that's fantastic. Didn't used to be that way. It would be obviously higher. So ignorance is not bliss. Ignorance can kill you. Ignorance can set the path for destruction for the rest of your life and further. So along with the breads, the cakes, the pies, the coffee with the sugar in it, I was getting an astronomical amount of sugar in my system each day and didn't even know it. I don't eat candy. I'm not a candy eater, never have been. But I did love the milk chocolate and the Snickers bars with the caramel, and those kind of things. Chomp on that. Potato chips. You got your high starch and high starchy carbs, and a lot of trash with the potato chips. Used to eat a lot of them. And just so on and so forth. And those are the kind of things that are high on the glycemic index. Ignorance is not bliss. If you want to reverse this situation in your body before it's too late, then start just researching what foods are good, what foods that you should be eating. Now, I'm not I don't suggest keto. It's not me. I've never done keto. And I've never done fully the Mediterranean diet, but I've done kind of a mixture of the two. So I basically consider, I'm on a whole food diet. That's all there is to it. I eat whole foods. I don't eat things that are high on the glycemic index or the glycemic load. I now eat things that have complex carbs in them. I will eat certain things like no more potato chips. I'll eat a whole wheat Triscuits, organic whole wheat Triscuits that have organic oil and salt. Just 3 ingredients. Love them. But I don't eat so many that it's going to cause a problem. Am I afraid of saturated fats? Heck no. Last night I had pork belly for dinner. Think about that. And the last test that I had taken, or the last catheterization I had taken, they checked all my arteries and everything, said everything looks fine. The stent, everything looks great. It's just that one calcified artery. So again, I'm bringing all this up so that ignorance, so you understand ignorance is not bliss. Eat healthy things, please. Unless you want to have a heart attack at the age of 57 or younger. I've had friends who passed away because of this thing. Avocados, salmon, eating stuff with high on the omega-3s, good, healthy fatty acids, shrimp, sardines. Don't worry about the cholesterol. Cholesterol is not the problem. It really isn't the problem. It's the damaged LDL cholesterol that's the problem. And I got news for you. You can search this all you want. I'm not a doctor. You can search this all you want. Statins do not lower the number of the oxidized small LDL damaged cholesterol particles. All they do is knock down the healthy LDL cholesterol. So that's all there is to it. I mean, Dr. Sten Ekberg just released a video showing the death rate of people with low cholesterol versus high cholesterol. And the people with low cholesterol have a higher death rate than the people with high cholesterol. I hope I said that right. The low cholesterol has a higher death rate than the high cholesterol. Cholesterols that are in your mid 200s, they have a much lower death rate by like 8 times lower. That's a lot. So again, Dr. Sten Ekberg, look him up. Does a great job of explaining this. So real quick, ignorance is not bliss. It can kill you. It can kill you naturally, and it can kill you supernaturally. I am a strong advocate for following Jesus Christ. I have been very blessed to encounter him. He has completely solidified my faith. My faith is totally confirmed. I've watched a couple videos. I put a video in a couple weeks ago called 2 Visions from the Lord. By all means, watch that video. It shares a couple of the ways that the Lord totally confirmed my faith. And why is that important? Because we were born separated from him. And we think, well, God's a big killjoy. He just wants us to not have fun while we're on this earth. And how dare he think that I have to trust in him for salvation? Well, he did make everything, and he is the boss. And he sacrificed his perfect begotten son on the cross. He should have the say on how things go. Yes, he's love. He's also justice. He's also fair. He also is the giver of life. So anyway, I hope this helps you. Please, by all means, like this video, subscribe to it, comment below with any questions you might have. Tell your friends, share it. It's very important, very important. But yeah, and again, thank you for those who pray for me. I thank you very much, and we'll see you on the next video. God bless.